If you need a reason to indulge in the specialty cheese department, then I suggest you take your taste buds on an adventure and explore the world of goat cheese. Whether you're a first-time sampler or you have already become a long-term fan of the delicious goat cheese, you'll find a world of innovative goat cheese flavors, textures, and styles in the specialty cheese department that will satisfy any palate ranging from smooth and mild to firm and tangy. Hi, I'm Margie Proctor with Hillphoenix. This month I traveled to a goat micro dairy farm called Reichert's Derriere to learn the process of making fresh goat milk cheese. It wasn't that long ago that many Americans rolled up their nose at the thought of goat cheese and associated the taste as being very strong and very pungent. It wasn't until the 1970s when goat milk and goat cheese products first entered the commercial retail in the United States. Over the past 40 years, goat dairy farmers and cheesemakers have dramatically changed the consumer's preconceived opinions and paved the path to make goat cheese more mainstream and trendy in America. Goat milk can be used just like any other milk and with any type of cheese-making techniques. While most people are familiar with the plain, soft, unripened, basic Chev cheese log, more artisan and farmstead styles are quickly gaining popularity, with flavors of goat cheese being made with fresh herbs, fruits, honey, or edible flowers. Goat cheese is made in many shapes, such as cone, disc, wheels, and logs. Lois Reichert, a goat keeper and cheesemaker of the goat micro dairy that I toured, has produced handmade batches of farmstead goat cheese for several years. She uses fresh milk that contributes to the soft, creamy textures to her cheese. I asked Lois what the most important factor to making a successful handcrafted goat cheese is, and let's take a look at what she said.
Anytime you do something on a small scale, your quality is going to be better. The conditions the goats are kept in are much cleaner, they have more space, they're healthy. A small herd is easier to manage and keep healthy. The parlor I milk in is heated and air conditioned for my comfort, but it's also much easier to keep very clean, and I'm very particular about the goats have to be brushed and cleaned and their feet cleaned before they come in for milking, which gives me a very good quality milk. Again, because I make cheese in small batches, the milk is fresher, I have more control over the quality. The hand ladling of curds, like I'm doing here, gives me a superior texture, a much better texture. And then with the flavorings, I'm particular. I use fresh herbs, fresh garlic, Again, on a small scale, it's time and labor intensive, but you can do everything right.
Goats are intelligent, socially inclined, and very affectionate animals. A dairy goat returns its cost in feed by the quality milk it provides. Goats are typically milked twice a day for approximately 9 months a year and allowed to dry off and rest for 3 months until their baby is born. On average, a goat produces a gallon of milk a day, and in the spring, a goat can produce up to 2 gallons of milk a day. Even though a goat may produce more milk in the spring, that doesn't mean twice as much cheese produced. The composition of milk changes from season to season, and in the fall, towards the end of the lactation, there are more solids in the milk. Lois can produce almost as much cheese in the fall with 14 gallons of milk as she does in the spring with 20 to 22 gallons of milk. To ensure the quality milk is produced, milking goats need to be supplied with a healthy, naturally ventilated, low-stress environment and with quality food. Lois supplements her goat herd with a high-quality grain mix to ensure the milking goats get proper nutrients as well as plenty of fresh, clean water. All these contribute to the quality cheese product. Goat cheese is delicious, nutritious, and wholesome. There's a segment of the population that is choosing goat cheese more for health reasons than trendiness. Goat cheese is often eaten by those who are allergic to cow's milk or have a low tolerance to the cow's milk protein. Fat and protein molecules in goat cheese are softer and much smaller than cheese made by cow's milk, making goat cheese much easier to digest. And some of the softer goat cheese types attract dieters. For example, Chev cheese has a lot more moisture in it than a harder cheese, which the higher moisture cheese will have fewer calories and fat. In a harder cheese, the fat and calories is more concentrated than that of a fresh cheese. Feta cheese is also popular amongst dieters since it is so flavorful and salty tasting, and not a lot is needed to satisfy and add flavor. It has also been proven that diets that are high in calcium assist the body's burning of fat after meals. Nutritionally, goat cheese is high in vitamin A, vitamin K, phosphorus, and potassium. And goat milk is a good source of high-quality protein. There are 5 grams of protein in a single ounce of goat cheese. Buying common cheese types is already overwhelming for shoppers, but throw in the artisan cheese types such as goat milk cheese, and it can be part entertaining, part intimidating, and looking at 100+ varieties most likely will make shoppers' heads spin and mouths water. Educating the consumers on the vast array of products offered is an ongoing process. Each year, new varieties of cheese are introduced into the market to create innovative and exciting flavors that satisfy consumers' cravings for something new and tasty to savor. Some helpful tips to help your customers when selecting a goat cheese product include: Number 1, don't let the customer go into panic mode. Reassure them that while there are many cheeses to select from, there are 8 main categories: fresh, semi-soft, soft-ripened, surface-ripened, semi-hard aged, washed rind, and blue. Once they have identified the category of cheese they are looking for, it will be much easier to navigate in the cheese department. The next important tip is listen to your customer. Some customers may be attracted to a certain flavor, while others may have dietary needs and may need to be steered to a certain variety. The third tip, implement the motto, try it before you buy it. If a customer is unfamiliar with the goat cheese, offer them a sample. Customers may hesitate to try something new, especially if it's pricey. You may be surprised by the number of returning customers and new goat cheese fans just by having samples available. Help educate your customer. Explain the difference between farmstead goat cheese and artisan goat cheese. Farmstead identifies cheese made in small batches from a cheesemaker that milks their own goats, while artisan identifies cheese that is made in small batches from a cheesemaker that sources out their goat milk. Another way to help educate a customer on the product is by offering serving suggestions and help the customer to pair a food and a beverage with goat cheese, or suggest ways to cook with it. Chev is great served with a light white wine and served with crackers, or mix it with pasta or melt it on chicken. Feta is great served with fresh basil and tomatoes, or serve it on salads or on pizza. Signage is very important. Make sure the various varieties of cheese are clearly marked by the type of milk the cheese is made from. Create signage for products made locally. Customers are very in tune with buying a local product, and it draws interest and attention. And finally, reset your refrigerated displays on occasion. This gives the opportunity to showcase select types, puts product out front that frequent shoppers may have ignored, and finally, it gives the opportunity to inspect, trim, or rewrap product as needed. Let's hear what Lois suggests.
There's nothing wrong with, especially if you have a local producer, ordering smaller quantities every week. That's what I prefer to do. It's easier for me to supply smaller quantities weekly anyway, and then you've always got rotated fresh product then too.
There are an enormous number of cheeses to display, describe, and merchandise in the specialty cheese section. Focus on how you expect customers to shop the department. Is it by category? Put all the fresh ripe cheeses together and the surface ripened together, or perhaps group by milk type. Put all the goat cheese together, cheese made from cows together, and by sheep together. The next step is to describe what type of display would best suit your store needs. Does your product need to be displayed in a refrigerated service case or a refrigerated self-service merchandiser? A self-service case gives shoppers the opportunity to pick up a product and read the ingredients off the label and requires minimal customer interaction. The service case is a hub for displaying more elegant, exotic, and higher-priced cheese items and gives the opportunity to interact with customers. However, the service case can be very difficult to maintain. Additionally, the cheeses down in the front may be difficult to reach. Upright self-service cases have become popular with cheese merchandisers. They can set up flat against the wall and out of the way of traffic, and the upright cases don't consume much of the real estate, and most can hold up to 5 rows of shelves for cheese. Heavy-duty shelves and base decks are recommended for holding the weight of stacked cheeses. Multi-tiered, self-service shop-around island cases are also great cases for displaying cheese. They can hold a great deal of cheese, can be shopped from all sides, and if you keep them under 54 inches high, staff can easily see who is shopping and assist customers. Proper storage and display is critical to preserving the shelf life and taste of cheese. Cheese is recommended to be stored between 35 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit and must be displayed within the load limit lines in a refrigerated display case. Cheese products that are subjected to temperatures that exceed these recommendations run a high risk of experiencing significant breakdown of the body, texture, and flavor. High-intensity fluorescent lights cause fading of color components in cheese exposed to the light and cause a potential for oxidized flavor defects. Hillphoenix offers clairvoyant LED lighting, which does not emit any harmful UV rays, therefore not assisting in color change of the product. LED lighting inherently generates less heat than fluorescence, which assists in prolonging the shelf life of the product displayed. Adjustable lighted metal or wire shelves are popular in merchandising cheese. And the adjustable shelves give you flexibility in displaying various height products and adapting to the product line. Over the last decade, there's been a huge change in how we view our food. We care about where it's coming from, and we think much more about the details of the food, such as how is it made and what are the health benefits. With consumers becoming more curious about the products they are buying at the store, having a knowledgeable staff is key to keeping a growing interest in any department of your store and building relationships with your customers. Thanks for joining me, and I hope I have inspired you to focus on goat cheese products this month. If you have any questions regarding refrigerated display cases, please don't hesitate to ask me a question by clicking on the Ask a Question button or contacting your knowledgeable Hillphoenix sales representative. I look forward to seeing you next month on Food for Thought.